when we're off to Vegas. Is it happening? We're in negotiation stages at this moment in time. We're just waiting on phone calls to hear which of the other champions wants a fight, basically. The next fight is definitely going to be a big one. It's just who and where.
You definitely want to unify this division, don't you, Josh? Where would you prefer the fight to be? Would you like it here in your hometown of Leeds, or would you want to go stateside?
Do you know what? Like, I've gone beyond anything that I ever thought I'd ever do as a professional boxer. You know, I used to drive home from work when I'm working up in Adel, and I drive past Leeds Arena, and I think to myself, I tell you, one day I'd love to fight there. I tick that box. I boxed there 10 times now.
Yeah.
You know, I've won British title, won European title, won final eliminators, and then Ellen Road. I'm never good enough to play for Leeds United. I won't even get into most Sunday League teams. 2 left feet, pinging ball over the crossbar.
I don't know. We've had a few players that have done that during the time.
Yeah, maybe so. But
hey! Got me manly and knock you out.
But to fight Ellen Road, another dream of mine, box ticked. And I would like to go to the States. I would like to go to Vegas. I would like to go to New York, Madison Square Garden. It's not just for myself, it's just for my supporters who've been with me from the leisure centres to the arenas to the stadiums to come along in unison and make memories. You know, there's a lot of my pals who were probably a little bit too young to go across Europe in the Champions League era.
Yeah.
But, you know, following myself, I could see it now, thousands of fans being on the Vegas Strip, smashing the casino tables, causing havoc in the airport and whatnot. And in years to come, the Vegas taxi drivers saying, "Oh man, when that Josh Warrington came over, his fans were crazy." You know, it's like they talk about it nationwide now. You know, like when I was with Sky, all the production team used to talk about how great the Leeds fans were. You know, the BT guys, they all love coming up to Leeds. So, going over to stateside would be fantastic. But in the same breath, when we had the Lee Selby fight at Ellen Road, that was a massive occasion. So I won my first world title. I wouldn't mind winning a second one there. So go there again. I think have a big one there, and then after that we'll just go to Tottenham World.
Well, that'd be fantastic, would it not? Another championship fight at Ellen Road would be unbelievable. This city's really backed you, Josh, hasn't it? How much does that mean to you?
Unbelievable. Like I say, I was never good enough to play football or like that. But I used to buzz as a young kid, going down to Whelan Road and watching. At the time we were flying high in the Premier League, watching Leeds. But as the boxing took off, I never thought that I'd get like a big fan base like that. All I ever wanted to do was put Leeds on the map. It seemed that boxing in the north, you see it's like Manchester, Sheffield, Liverpool, they were getting all credit. And I used to think, why is Leeds never getting it? I used to get the boxing news. I don't know if there's any boxing fans in here who read that, but he always used to be, them cities what were getting a mention, and then obviously down south you had London. And I thought, you know what, I'd love Leeds to just get a bit of recognition for the boxing, because we've got some talented boxers in this city. And that was one of my first goals, that, put Leeds on the map, win British title, and maybe get an house deposit, and if I'm lucky, get a car and drive. That's all I wanted from the boxing. But I think I've superseded that, and for me to be walking down the street and you've got folk coming along, hey, I tell you what a night on May 19th, I were there. You know, people tonight have been coming, hey, if you go to Vegas, I'm there, and it's like, it blows my mind away really, because I'm just a daft lad off at LS9 estate, but yet people are paying their hard-earned money to support me. And listen, I might be biased, but Leeds, best city in the world.
No, you're not biased. Best supporters, best people in the world.
This is it, the people ask me all the time, what's so special about Leeds? And it is, obviously the football team, the history and everything else, but it's the folk that make it. Yeah. We're a unique bunch. We're not lights all over the country, but we like that. We thrive off that. We thrive off being dear Leeds, and we just say it how it is. And I've got thousands who follow me all over, so you can't beat that.
And like you say, you've got loads of followers, but how much of it is now that you're an inspiration to other children and other kids who want to aspire like you to become a boxer because you've put Leeds on the map, because of what you've achieved so far?
Yeah, again, that's massive. You know, I'm hearing it many times on social media. You know, multiple times a day we get messages saying they got into boxing because of me. You know, not even getting into boxing. You know, a couple of fights ago I had an open workout, and one fella said he got into the army because he was going down the rails, and he watched my documentary, and he just got inspired from that, and he cleaned his act up, and he got into Yorkshire Regiment, and he went in the infantry. So I'm inspiring people along the way, but just doing what I've always loved doing. But it is massive to wear things like that, and that gives me a motivation. So when I'm preparing for the fights, and times still get hard in the gym, you know, and I'm in between sparring sessions, or in between circuits, I'm sat having a drink or having a rest, and I'm thinking, bloody hell, how much have I got left in this next round? Little things like them people coming along and tapping on the shoulder and saying, thank you for being an inspiration. It's that what pushes me along. And you know what? I'm buzzing that there'll be a new generation of boxers coming through, because they'll look at me and say, well, he would only a daft lad of that state, and look what he's done with himself. No, it's true.
I think that makes two of us.
I'm not the fastest, I'm not the strongest, I'm not the most intelligent, like in ringcraft, but I've done it through hard work, and every day, say die attitude, perseverance, and it's paid off. It's paid off, and you know, that could be a lesson in life for anybody.
I think that's worth a round of applause anyway. And it's not just the young people you're inspiring, you know, you do a lot of work within the city as well. You do work for candlelighters, help the homeless. You're never shy to put yourself out there and help others.
Yeah, definitely. It's about giving back, isn't it? You know, I love the city, and I feel like I'm getting a lot of love back from the city. And you know, you've got to use that position of power to good. You know, when I was coming through, I remember meeting a couple of boxers, and it seemed like they didn't have time of day for me. You know, just because, for whatever reason, because they'd won a few titles, and they weren't even big names, but because they'd won a title. You see it with sportsmen in all different kind of sports. They don't realise the position and power that they have and what they can do. You've got to use that for some good. When people are, like I say, paying their hard-earned money to come and support you, without the public, without the fans, then we're nothing. We're nothing. So you have got to give that back. You have got to show your appreciation. You know, I do a lot with the candlelighters, like I say, I do a lot with the kiddies and the children's charities, just because, you know, you're a superhero to them. You're a superhero, and it's like, I'm no different to 10 years ago when I worked in 9 to 5 as a dental technician and doing boxing on the evening. I'm still that same fella. You know, I've just a few less brain cells, you know, but been boxing 21 years, guys, it takes its toll on you. But, you know, if you can go along to a young kid, say hello, take 5 minutes with them on a picture, or someone like in the audience tonight, just have a little chat, it makes a massive difference. And that person could have been going through a bad week at work, you know, going through an hard time, and it just changes the mentality, and it's what you've got to do. And, you know, sound like I'm being a bit soppy and stuff, but
no.
He's giving back.
You know, we all appreciate what you do. We all know what you do within the city and what you've done for the city and everything else you're going to do for the city in the future. And we really appreciate you, Josh. Moving on from the boxing world onto the football world. Massive Leeds United fan. Always seen down at Ellen Road, everybody supporting the mighty Whites. How are you seeing this season, Josh? And is it our season? The pressure, the million-dollar question, isn't it? Everyone hates to answer.
I don't want to jinx us, though, you know. I mean...
I think Bobby did that on the Saturday when he said, oh, that's it, game, set and match, game over. Yeah, well done, Adam. Your fault, pal.
So I don't want to talk about Saturday. I mean, that's just Leeds all over, mate. We never do it the easy way. I mean, last Christmas, we were sat top.
Yeah.
At the end of the season, a pre-season flop. This year, to set us from tears, we're going up as champions. Thought that for tough, not bad there. Do you know what? We're just going to make sure that we don't burn out. because we're an high intensity team, and like Eddie was talking earlier, hard work, it works wonders. And for us, we go out on the pitch and we, 70% possession, more or less every game, but it's about the ball in the back of the net, and then on weekend 3-0 up, you can't let it slip.
No.
And it's them games will make the difference. Friday night, West Brom, they were behind, they came back, and it's that kind of winning mentality what does it at the end. I think if we start to really tighten our belts by January, February time, and like stop making the silly mistakes and just grinding out results, it don't matter if there's boring 0-0 and we get winning like last 5 minutes, because that's all forgot about at the end of the season.
Yeah.
What matters is where we finish and how many points we've got in the total. So I do believe it will happen. I thought it was last season, when I won world title, I thought they were meant to be there.
Well,
with Poppy going, Josh Warrington retains his title and leads at top of Christmas. I'm thinking, get in, it's happening, it's destined and all that. But yeah, obviously, it wasn't meant to be. But it's got to be a season. We've had another season with Bielsa. We are playing some good football, and we've just got to keep the faith, haven't we?
Like everybody, we stay positive, we stay faithful to Leeds, and hopefully this is our season and the centenary season as well. It'll be fantastic. Josh, I've done a quick fire 5 this evening with Jamie. I'm going to put you on the spot and do a quick fire 5 boxing with you.
Let's have it.
I'm going to start with number 1. Best victory of your career? Probably a simple one, maybe, I think.
Yeah, I think the least I'll go on. The Carthampton one runs close because we had a right old ding-dong, didn't we?
It was decent.
And then in match all together in Manchester Arena were absolutely fantastic. I mean, stood there, I had Liam Cooper do a ring walk with me. He was bricking it more than me. I said, Liam, what's wrong with you? He went, there's a few here, isn't there? I said, just get that bell up, hold that bell high. Shutter goes up. Match all together goes on. He's like, God, I don't have to fight. And then obviously, we had a good old ding-dong, obviously, fight here. But the least I've won just for the fact of everybody writing me off. I mean, they did this survey with Frank Warren's team, and they asked 80 of the main boxing public, so you've got to you got to Fair Davises, your pundits, like, I don't know, different boxers and whatnot, and out of the 80, only 6 of them picked me to win. The rest of them said that I'm going to get me, I'll get me backside handed to me. I'm going to get chinned, I won't make it to 12 rounds, and it was going to be a disappointing night at Ellen Road, but we upset it, didn't we? We had Kai's Chiefs players out, rather be doing ring walk, and Leeds' first male boxing world champion. So that's best victory.
I think that was well the round of applause, everybody, absolutely. The second question on your Quickfire 5 is toughest fighter you've faced?
I've said it before, I'll say it again, Martin Lindsay. First time at Leeds Arena, because like I said to you earlier, I wanted to just win the British title and I wanted to fight at Leeds Arena, and it happened very, very quickly. I went and from fighting in small or leisure centres to having a fight at Manchester Arena earlier on against Brendan Monroe.
How did that feel?
It was a quick transition. I was still working 9 to 5, like I said, dental technician. Geezers were coming in, delivery drivers like, I've seen you, tell me what you're doing here. Oh, it's my day job, mate. Give over, you must be a millionaire. Like, mate, I'm still driving around in a 1999 Ford Fiesta. but all of a sudden, I'm doing little articles with Yorkshire Evening Post to front page spreads, doing like interviews with you guys to national radio, and it was all happening very, very quickly. And the British title came on like 5 weeks' notice. Martin Lindsay, I'd been watching videos of him, like in trying to get preparation in my head and whatnot, and I'm watching videos of him knocking guys out and they were spinning round, knocked out. I'm thinking, I hope you don't catch me tonight, one of them bad boys. And BBC Radio Leeds were doing a show from down there live, and I remember Catherine Anna interviewing Eddie Hearn, and then Eddie Hearn was saying, Josh has got a lot of pressure on here, because everyone expects him to win. He's the own fighter, and it kind of made me feel a little bit better. Yeah. But during the fight, I'm doing all right, and 4 rounds in, I'm breezing the fight, and I'm thinking, you know what, carry on going like this, I couldn't get a stoppage here. And 5th round, boom, he hits me right there, solar plexus. I thought, that's a good shot, that. About 10 seconds later, he gets me again. I come in for a little exchange, and he gets me again. I thought I'm going down. When I watch it back, I don't show the emotion, but I thought I'm going down. I couldn't breathe. I managed to dance about a bit and get my breath back. And about 10 seconds to go, it gets me in the same place. And I was in agony. Bell goes, I goes back to the corner, stands still, my dad pulls my gum shield out. He goes, "You alright, lad? Good shot that one, eh?" I went, I couldn't breathe, well done. And he said, listen to me now. Silly then, when you're getting caught, I'm thinking to myself, "Hey, how can you, I won't get chinned here." He says, "What you're going to do is you're going to go up there, you've got to get it to him straight away, otherwise, you know, your British title can say bye-bye to it." So I went out, I picked a shot, got him into the body straight away, and I slowed him down, and from then on, it tried to turn. But I remember hitting him, he just felt solid. Every punch he hit me with felt solid, and we were tough all night, but obviously I did what I had to do to win the British title.
Absolutely, Josh, what a night as well. I think we all know the answers to this one. The best venue fought at?
Ellen Road, Ellen Road. I mean, like I say, again, on that night, I don't want to dwell on all night, so we'll be here all night, me bloody talk a glass eye to sleep. But on that night again, I'm thinking to myself, you know, I'm going through social media on the day, and people are making their way into town, and they're going to all these different bars. They've got a new outfit on. The girls are all dolled up, and everyone's heading down there. And I'm thinking to myself, this is some pressure. Like, you know, I've asked for this fight for a long time. I believe I beat Lee Selby, but what happens if I get chinned? What happens if I get chinned? I'd never go to show my face again down Ellen Road. But remember getting off the bus and I'm walking in. Not like a first bus. I'm not using the day, but I don't like that. They dropped me off there, and I remember walking in and popping my head out the tunnel and having a little look round, and then going back into change rooms and in home dressing rooms. I don't know if anyone else has seen, but it's like little messages up on the wall, side before self every time. You know, great, like, you know, Eddie
inspirational quotes before you go out.
And players of grace that dressing room, like Billy Bender. And I remember sitting there thinking, if I don't go out there and give absolutely everything, I'm doing, you know, the legends of Grace's dressing room injustice. And I remember being in the tunnel, looking up, thinking, I've dreamt of this. I've dreamt of it. 20,000 of my own there, cheering. Kaiser's playing us out, like I said, Lucas Radaby behind us. The old fella said to me, he said, "Listen, you've worked hard to get this to this place." He said, "Just enjoy this." He said, "Enjoy this moment." And he's never said that. He's always said, "Keep yourself switched on." He said, "Just enjoy this. And we get in the ring, have a little walk round." He says, "Enjoy that moment." And he said, "As soon as he gets into the ring, then you switch on." Yeah. And I did. And I'll remember that little moment until the day I die. You know, it was a special little moment getting in, looking over to the court, looking over to East Stand and West Stand, and seeing the look of everyone's faces. Like, they were in there with me that night. So it was a special night to stay with me for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I think it's going to save everyone for the rest of their lives. I'm watching all your Ellen Road. Absolutely incredible evening there for you, sir. The next one, who would you like to walk the belt in with you to the ring? On your next fight? Who's it going to be, Josh? It could be anybody, Josh. Anybody at all, Josh. No pressure. I'll show this evening.
I'm sure you might be busy on that day. I'm sure you said you might be busy. I know what, I'd love to have... Bielsa's is a good shout, but I'd love to have David Batty. I'd love to have David Batty. I've been fortunate to meet him a few years ago when I won the British title, and didn't get much out of him about football. In fact, he couldn't be bothered talking about football. He wanted to talk about motorbikes and boxing. Yeah. But just because of his nonsense attitude, that's what I like about him most. And I think just to have a legend like him walking us to the ring, it'd be fantastic. So,
do you think you're very much like him as a boxer, as he was a player, very hard, you know, physical kind of player?
Yeah.
Was he one of your favourites when you were watching?
I think so. Yeah, no nonsense. I mean, I've heard many stories about him. You know, when he goes to training, he wasn't always the best in training. You know, you can only get. I
can vouch for that one.
Normally get past the juniors and go train with them because you can't be training with the first team. Yeah, on game day, he was able to turn it on, and you know, I can relate to that because there's
big players, big fighters, big moments.
There's times when I'm in gym and I've had a bad night in gym, bad sparring sessions. Inside, I've got to think, bloody hell, I've got a right eye, I didn't go home, I've got black eyes, bust nose. But then when it's fight night, nobody's beating me. It's that mentality, you just turn on, become a different person. So, yeah, lots of similarities there.
And the fifth and the final one, Josh, if you could face any fighter throughout history, who would that be?
Well, I'm only a little fella out, so we could have to rule out any heavyweights.
I don't know, maybe you want to bang one out there and just do a couple of rounds.
I always said I wouldn't mind fighting Naz. Because Gobby wouldn't mind punching him in the mouth.
And he's from Sheffield.
Yeah, he's from Sheffield. Obviously Naz is a 9-stone fighter. He had they say that he had unbelievable punching power. He would knock him middleweights out in gym. So I wouldn't mind he just I'm not weirdo, but I wouldn't mind he just feeling one of these, just see if I could take it or not. So
I think it's the kind of thing we all think about and dream about, isn't it? Yes.
But I think recently I've been watching a fella called Edwin Valero. He 27 fights, 27 knockouts. Bit of a psycho guy, but I wouldn't mind having a scrap with him. He looked like a good ding dong, so probably him.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think you can agree it's been an absolute pleasure having Josh Warrington with us. Please give it up and a warm thank you to the champion, our Leeds warrior, Josh Warrington!